Hello WordNerds! My name is Meg and I'm super excited to be guest vlogging for Reader's Nook. Today we're talking everything audiobook. I love a good rhyme, or a bad one. So as someone who doesn't get along well with technology, I still listen to records. I would choose a candle over a lamp almost any time, and I've never owned an ebook in my life. I was originally pretty reluctant to try audiobooks. However, last semester when I had a paper due in a week, had neglected to read the book, and was looking ahead to a long car ride over the weekend, I somehow found myself signing up for a free Audible trial. And although the paper didn't go that great, my irresponsibility did lead to one good thing. Audiobooks. I've been listening to them ever since. I think a lot of traditional readers are reluctant to try audiobooks. They think they won't be able to focus on them, or that the experience just won't be the same. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. There are tons of reasons to start listening to audiobooks, and I'm going to give you just a few of them. One great reason for listening to audiobooks is it makes those boring tasks that all of us have to do in our lives a lot more enjoyable. A lot of times if I'm cleaning my room or washing dishes, I'll throw on an audiobook to help pass the time. And before I know it, I've got those tasks done. It's a great way to help you get through doing those things that you don't really want to do. Another good time to listen to audiobooks is during those times that kind of feel like wasted space. For me, that includes walking or driving to class, work, home, wherever that may be. When I'm listening to my audiobooks while I'm commuting, I feel like I'm still being productive and not just wasting that time sitting in the car or walking down the street. Also, it's a lot safer to be listening to an audiobook while you walk down the sidewalk rather than having your face shoved into a real book. Gotta watch where you're going, people. By listening to audiobooks while you're doing these mundane everyday tasks or while you're commuting to or from work or school, you actually get another benefit out of it. And that's decreasing your TBR pile. If you're anything like me, your to-be-read pile is more like a mountain than an actual pile. The numbers of books I want to read kind of seem impossible. However, by listening to audiobooks, you can help get that number down because you can listen to them anywhere while you're doing anything. They help keep you reading even when you can't have a book in your hands. Another great thing about listening to audiobooks is it allows you to access a story in a very different way. There are three types of learners. There are kinesthetic learners, who learn by touching things and doing things and using their hands. There are visual learners, who learn by reading words on a page. And there's also auditory learners, who are people who understand things best by hearing them. If you're one of those people, I especially encourage you to try audiobooks. Listening to a story versus reading it activates different parts of your brain. You may understand it even better than you did when you're flipping through a book. Another really great thing about audiobooks is that characters really come off the page when you have voices to connect with them. Most of the time, those people who are narrating read characters differently than you would in your head. You can get a new perspective. It can kind of turn things on its head and make you understand things in a different way. One of the best ways for me to see this in action was reading a book of poetry and then listening to the audiobook version of it. The speaker delivered things so much differently, and I was able to get new messages out of the work. I also noticed different things. I noticed repetitions. I noticed how meanings changed when she put emphasis on one part of the sentence and I put emphasis on another. Having someone narrate the story to you can give you a very new look into the story you're reading. And the last reason I'm going to give to you for listening to audiobooks is that it returns you to the roots and origins of storytelling. Storytelling was an oral art form far before it was a written one. For centuries, civilizations told their stories without ever writing them down. Someone narrated the story for other people to hear. This is probably how your life mapped out too, whether it was parents reading you books before bed or teachers reading to you in school. Stories were given to you in an oral form. Getting back to those roots of storytelling in its most natural form is something I really urge you to do. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to experience a story. I hope I've been able to convince a few of you to try out audiobooks. If you have any suggestions for good audiobooks, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Also, if you're going to try it out for the first time, let us know how it went. Since half of the WordNerds will be at Harry Potter World this weekend, am I the only one insanely jealous of this? Probably not. I hear their Sunday live chat is still up in the air, so stay tuned, check Twitter to find out if there will be a chat on Sunday. Oh, and don't forget, stay nerdy.